welcome to Pisces season. There's no time to explain because we are making my hair a bunch of different colors because we are tapping into the Piscean energy, which is dreamy, artistic, and truly just one of a kind. That being said, buckle up and join me for what is about to be a very chaotic video. All right, here we go. More blue. I love this. Look at that. So we are doing Pisces season right now as we are in the middle of it, and given the day that I've had today and just the energy that I've been in lately, I was like, you know what, we're gonna do another one of those videos where we get to just dive into this. And if you haven't realized already, like I said earlier, Pisces is chaotic, artistic, and just really out here doing the most with whatever they've got. You know, they really are resourceful in a very creative, unique way. And given the hot hues that I've gotten, you know, as seen in TV, I just figured we are gonna make the most extravagant versions of ourselves, because that's one thing I've really noticed with Pisces is they just tend to be literally the most creative people you see on the streets. You know, people talk about Aquarius being like unique and different, but like truly, if you want somebody with a unique style and just a beautifully dramatic taste, Pisces are the peeps for it, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, this is so pink. This is getting rid of so much of my hair, God bless. In case you didn't know, Pisces / more like Neptune in the 12th house actually rules losses or like confusion. If you pay attention to Pisces a lot, they seem to be lost in their confusion a lot of time. Or I should say their chaos, because I feel like Pisces almost knows too much, and that's why they have their issues. You know, they come off, I think, like they don't know a lot or that they're confused, but really that confusion comes from having almost too much energy around you, and thus, you know, you have to do something with it. You have to try to filter it out. And I think a lot of Pisces don't know how to do that, so they just kind of sit in that energy and not really realizing the creative genius that it holds. I find that Neptune, 12th house, and Pisces energy all holds, like I said, that really creative energy, because it rules that flow state, you know, the really being in tune and tapped into the universe. Psychic energy, if you will, or energy of like actors is associated with like Pisces and Neptune in the 12th house, because you have to tap into like this collective emotion is what I call it. You know, this energy that we all experience at different times in our life. You know, you think of like a movie and why it's able to touch so many different people. It's because, you know, Pisces 12th house energy, Neptune energy has a lot to do with things we all experience and things that we can't really explain or talk about, because it's just part of being human and it's otherworldliness. You know, as much as we talk about being human in reality, you know, what even is reality? It's magical, and that's what Pisces really embodies. You know, a lot of Pisces people, I feel like, struggle with like drug addiction or alcoholism or just something of that nature, some kind of addictive tendencies, because they try to get back to that peaceful, one, almost euphoric state. I actually talked about this on my Patreon about how the show Euphoria actually emulates a lot of the energy of Neptune, which is, like I said, related to Pisces. This is making a freaking mess, and my little Virgo ass is freaking out trying to be messy and chaotic, so we're having a fun time. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. We're good. I look like Harley Quinn right now, but we're doing it. So back to what I was saying about Pisces and that confused energy. I feel like a lot of people might undermine Pisces. Ooh, hello. Are we good? You were currently on my toothbrush stand, so congratulations for that. Page without a tripod. Well, I have a tripod, just I don't feel like getting it. This was very impulsive, if you can't tell. But anyways, what I was saying is that a lot of Pisces people, they seem to be confused, and they just seem to be stuck in this collective emotion. Wherever they're at, I think, just really plays in a big role. Basically, the things that you consume during your day-to-day and how they affect you, that has a lot to do with like Pisces, because Pisces is the energetic qualities of its opposing sign of Virgo. It shows more of you know, what would be going on below the surface while you're dealing with those mundane things at the same time. So that being said, you can imagine how like a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, or basically any Pisces personal planets, how they might get a little stuck in, you know, certain energies sometimes where they just can't get out of them. And like I said, go to this avoidance space, whether it's through drugs, alcohol, or whatever escapism route that, you know, the Pisces individual likes to take. I mean, it's a theme, I guess, that you can notice with Pisces people. There's something that they're avoiding, and most of the time it's whatever energy they're dealing with. Specifically in their day-to-day though, like mental health types of things, or just mindsets that they might have about things. I just find these people like to live life to the fullest, and when they feel like they can't express themselves with the complexities and the depths that they have, they start to squirm, you know, they really start to run away from things in their life, and they'll start to, you know, like I said, latch onto things that aren't so healthy to try to cope with that. And it's like, you know, maybe you have to get away from this clinical, obsolete, traditional sense of doing things and really tap into, like I said, the deeper, more complex, more emotional part of yourself and what good that has to share. Because I tell you right now, I don't know a Pisces person that isn't capable of making me feel like I'm connected back to my soul like the way that they are. Like there is just no other energy that is able to do that so fluidly, I guess, you know, without much effort. They just make you feel seen and just understood for being, you know, complex. Like I said, like you don't have to really explain much stuff to a Pisces if you're talking like feelings or, I don't know, just real human things, not so much, you know, technical everyday stuff, even though they'll be there for you for that too. But when you talk about real things, like your real emotions, like you're never gonna find somebody that understands you like a Pisces. But I'm gonna finish this up real quick before I waste this whole video trying to do this and talk to you guys at the same time. But we'll see the final product soon, I suppose. And we are back. My hair looks absolutely magnificent, if we're being honest here. And I just got done crying, so happy Pisces season once again. No, but seriously, I really did just break down and cry. Which honestly is totally Pisces season energy because, oops, sorry if you can see my dog right now. So basically Pisces season is a culmination point. You know, it's all the lives lived by all of the other zodiac signs all into one. And that's what I was saying about like this collective emotion, or just, like I said, like a culmination point. It's everything while it's also nothing, because it's that void of losing. Oh my God. I'm sorry if you just heard my dog burp in the background. That was chaotic, my bad. But given that energy, it also makes Pisces energy really nostalgic. It's the energy of kind of going back, reflecting, and really feeling all that you've gone through and all that it's brought to you and all that you've lost along the way too. Like there's so much to consider when it comes to Pisces energy, and like that's why I keep saying it's just everything while nothing at the same time, because it's really hard to grasp. You know, it's like the energy of a shadow, as I always say, where, you know, if you're trying to look at it directly, you put your spotlight on it. You know, what happens to a shadow under a direct spotlight? It disperses, it's gone, it doesn't want to be seen. It's that avoidant energy, like I was saying. Oh my God, you can see how messy this is. Look at that. Anyways, we're going to avoid that and ignore that. But yeah, since that energy is very nostalgic, I have spent a lot of my time, I feel like in, you know, the past few weeks or so that it's been Pisces season, doing really nostalgic things, really looking over, you know, the past year and how many things have changed and how I've changed and evolved and grown, and just kind of honoring that growth too, because Pisces energy has a lot to do with compassion and acceptance. Because when you accept things and, you know, have compassion and grace for yourself through the ups and downs, the full spectrum of your emotions, you're able to then let it go and release and move on to new things. You know, that starts in Aries season. So that being said, I have just spent a lot of time, I feel like, in that nostalgic energy, but in a more honoring place of it, you know. So for example, I've been going through like things like this where I'm like going through my schooling and basically recollecting my friends or just different experiences that I had, you know. Thankfully I have a lot of like little things from my childhood where we wrote down, I don't know, like almost trigger words for memories to come back up that I just completely forgot about. And that definitely brought me to a very emotional place, especially when I'm finding full-on letters that I wrote to my parents when I was, you know, 13 and very, very much depressed. Or even cooler, I found this little like note from my mom back in 1986 where she wrote some poems and stuff. So that was, I mean, that's so special to me. And that's like totally that nostalgic energy is as much as it is tapping into your family lineage. You know, Pisces energy has a lot to do with your family psyche and just a lot of unspoken things, you know. In the past, it's so much unspoken things, and finding things like even, you know, my great grandma wrote a little book about what she remembers. It's literally called Grandma Remembers, starting with tales about she was born in 1915. Like it's just crazy to like see things like this, and I just feel so grateful that I have the opportunity to find things like this and to learn more about myself and to, you know, uncover more of my, you know, hidden emotions or, you know, the background emotions, because I find, like I've been saying in other videos, how Pisces energy has a lot to do with the collective unconscious and, you know, the dream world, the astral world and stuff like that, which is where you connect to your ancestors and whatnot. So this is just kind of a really special way for me to do that, and I'm just so happy about it, but so happy that it literally brought me to tears. So Pisces. Oh, another thing, I found a little picture of me and my twin brother. Aren't we cute? I really can't get over how cool this hair looks, but it's really not gonna last longer than the night, because can you imagine trying to sleep with this on? Oh my god, my poor bed would be absolutely ruined. So we're not gonna do that, but it looks very nice while we see it. Honestly, I could totally pull this off for like a permanent hairdo, so keep that noted, and if you see it in the future, you know what happened. While it's making its cameo, a lot of Pisces actually are great musicians. Fun fact. Or just creatives in general, because like I said, tapping in that flow state, getting in tune with, you know, a higher octave of feeling and like that collective feeling, basically, like I was saying, is just, it's so natural to a Pisces fellow. So I have this guitar here that I personally can't play. However, my very 12th house boyfriend might be able to play it for us later to give you a little taste of the Piscean flavor. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that we should talk about is synchronicity. Whether you have your sun in Pisces, moon in Pisces, Pisces rising, Pisces Mars, Pisces Mercury, Pisces Venus, you know, those personal planets, they show this really personal connection that you have to the collective emotional energy, to this synchronicity too. Because if you think about synchronicity, if you try to explain synchronicity to somebody who it doesn't resonate with, you know, who either doesn't understand synchronicity or just, I don't know, doesn't match your vibe when you explain it, you totally understand what I mean by this, where it's like, it's just this feeling you get. It's this knowing more than anything, you know? And I think that's the contrast that you see between Jupiter and Neptune, where you may have this knowledge of this feeling, you know, this real intuition, but, you know, that Pisces energy, that is more of an essence. It's more of the actual energy that fulfills, you know, these concepts and this wisdom that we gain, you know, throughout our lives. So that's what I think is really interesting to note with Pisces energy, because like I was saying, a lot of people with this energy seems to have a lot of very synchronistic events in their lives, you know, as we all do, but especially with, you know, this energy is because they're innately extremely tapped into those collective poles and, you know, what resonates and what really feels, you know, in your soul versus what isn't really fulfilling. It's only, you know, surface level or whatever. So that being said, I did want to talk to you guys really quick about I Ching, which is an ancient Chinese divination technique. And I actually explain this further on my Patreon with a full tutorial, as well as giving you a little ebook to explain the hexagrams and oracles like that. But essentially all you need to do this divination technique is you just need 3 coins of the same size. I just have 3 pennies, and essentially you just flip the coins and you see how many heads or tails you have, and then you count them. Heads equals 3 and tails equals 2. So let's say right now I have 3 tails. So like I was saying, tails are 2. So 3 tails, that would be 6. And since 6 is an even number, that would be a feminine line. And without diving too much into I Ching, I would do this 6 times and get either masculine or feminine lines, and that would create these different hexagrams, which, as you see here in this book, mean different things. So fun divination things, which like I was saying earlier is totally up Pisces energy, considering people with these placements generally believe in synchronicities, and I find they can naturally resonate with using different divination techniques for self-development and whatnot, since it kind of hits home to a more otherworldly part of Pisces that clinical things just will never hit, I find. Look at this on my window. Oh my god. Surprisingly not that cold right now for some reason. I'm like very rejuvenated by this right now, and it's just, I don't know, I'm thriving, happy. Good morning, world, and all that inhabit it. It is the next day, and further diving into the Pisces energy, I just wanted to talk about if you were to place Pisces as the rising sign, that would make Aries the sign in the second house, which I find really interesting and really telling about Pisces energy, because Pisces energy is very stimulated by its environment and by physical things, the physical vibes, I should say, that surround them. And because they're so impressionable, they can be quite reactive in, kind of weird ways, because you're taking on, sometimes unconsciously, whatever energy is happening around you, and that can have a lot to do with physical things, like I said. And let me just say, I feel like I had the perfect experience to explain how that can kind of show up. For example, I feel like Pisces really likes the aroma of things, aromatherapy is kind of a big thing, or just the overall vibe of anything, really, anything that they're getting their hands on. It helps a lot for Pisces to enjoy that, because that energy, if they don't enjoy what they're doing, really bogs them down and really gets them into a place where they feel confused. Like I said, that's kind of like the default for Pisces when things don't seem to be going according to plan, or honestly just resonating with them 100%. It starts to get fuzzy in their brain and gets kind of, just a lot, I feel like. However, given my Pisces 7th house, I was actually just given this beautifully stimulating body pudding is what it's called, but it smells like chocolate, and I swear to God, y'all, I wish you could smell this stuff, because, like, first of all, it looks like brownie batter. Like, that's just amazing in itself. But I put this on last night after I stopped filming, and I kid you not, I couldn't stop smelling myself, because I literally smell like brownie batter. And going back to that idea of feeling like you're a part of something, I don't know, like putting on lotion that smells delicious and reminds me of brownies, like, that's not making me necessarily feel part of brownies, but it's making me feel more connected to myself, because I'm like, I don't know, like sitting here smelling my arm and stuff. Like, that's a very sensuous Pisces experience that they get kind of thrown into based off of, the stimulation that they experienced in their environment and with their body and whatnot. So, fun fact for you. I really wish you guys could smell this, though. It smells so good. All these little things that I got, though, are from like this FabFitFun box, and my mom gave it to me, so shout out to you, Mom. I absolutely love this stuff. Us again. So another thing about Pisces energy is that, like I said, they're really impressionable, and because of that, I find that Pisces energy is really susceptible to like psychic attack or just energy attacks in general. Basically, the idea behind like the evil eye or manipulation or other kinds of abuse and stuff like that are something that Pisces can kind of get wrapped up into, because they are so compassionate and open and accepting to pretty much all of the energies, like I said. So that's something that has to be noted and taken into account with their energy normally. That being said, that is why I have this black tourmaline necklace that I'm going to be wearing today, which is supposed to help me protect myself from said negative energies. But obviously doing any kind of cleansing and grounding work is going to be super effective, and the most effective probably. Things like this are just kind of an add-on in my opinion. So after that, I decided to dive into the royal family and everything that's going on with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, because that seems to be where the collective emotion is pulling me right now. So I spent quite a bit of time channeling some messages from that for my Patreon. Say hello.
Hello. Yo, what's good? What's cracking? What's up in this? You doing it with me? We doing this together? One on one,
Oh my god, shut
Two.
up. 4. Hello again. So since Pisces is mutable water, I just wanted to make a comment on something and also note that you can mutate your emotions. You can change and go with the flow of your emotions and kind of see where it takes you. And I think that is a lot of Pisces energy, Neptune, 12th house. So what I find interesting about this, though, when you allow yourself to feel things fully and, for all their complexities, not really trying to make anything super finite or, rational in any sense, you're just allowing yourself to experience things, that allows you to kind of work through that full spectrum of that emotion. And then, like I was saying earlier, you can accept it and move through it, move on to better things for yourself. So that being said, I just got done watching a bunch of funny fail videos where it's essentially like America's Funniest Home Videos, just modern age, I'd say. So that's fun to watch. And honestly, I like doing that with TikToks too. Just anything that I know that I can get on and I know it's going to just improve my mood quality. I like to do that because tapping into that Pisces energy. But now I think Miss Derp and I are going to chillax and meditate a little bit, maybe fall asleep, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm needing. Like I said, I'm going to go with the flow, and that's where it's taking me right now. So talk to you soon. Good morning, y'all. It is a new day since the last time we spoke. I honestly have been very just in my Pisces energy lately. Obviously it's Pisces season, but no, really my energy has been so chill and just like I was saying yesterday, I just have been going with the flow so much, and because of that I've been meditating a lot, a lot. I've also been needing to sleep a little bit more, which, I understand that that's my body needing things, needing to heal, needing to release, needing to just kind of reboot and rest a little bit. And that's all okay, as much as I do have a hard time accepting that sometimes, you got to do what you got to do. So starting this morning, though, I randomly just got a little pep in my step. It always starts with my little doggy staring at me, as you saw just a second ago. But right now I am working on a Patreon post, which if you have not checked out my Patreon, I talk about all the time on here, I feel like. But I love just how I express things on there. It's mostly written things, I do my astro hot takes, but I dive into specific placements and just really give you a taste of the reality of astrology, in a kind of harsh way. Honestly, it's a way that I wouldn't really feel that comfortable sharing on, on YouTube or even on my Twitter, Instagram, where I share that, just because unless you really understand astrology, you might just take it the wrong way and not really get the full message out of it. So that's why I kind of reserve that stuff for over there, but definitely check it out if you're interested. And then I will also be continuing to dive into this book, Astrology for Lovers. I love Liz Green, which you guys should know this by now because I feel like I try to mention her pretty much anytime I talk about astrology, because she is just amazing. The things that she has concluded and just the work that she's put into astrology is just, it's phenomenal. I absolutely admire the shit out of her. And she was born one day before me, not the same year, but still, I was way to go, Virgo queen. So yeah, just a little tidbit on what we're up to this morning. But I've been trying to get ye old boyfriend to play us a guitar solo, but I was saying, his Piscean self, he does not want to be in the spotlight. He's I don't know, getting all nervous about it. So that's where we're at. Oh, the rainbows. Love to see it, little derp over there too. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna pop to it and I'll talk to you guys soon.